Gotta worry about that Lucian. Maybe he goes back on it because he really played out of his mind.
And I was very hard on Voy at the end of that first match, but I have to say again, what is with this guy in holding his summoner spells, Raz?
Yeah, he's just
two final team fights in a row where he gets taken down, still has flash and heal.
That's, to be fair, he is a new player on stage for... I can't say that. He has a lot of stage presence. If you're on LSPL, this is an offline event. He's been to a lot of offline events. So him not showing it up is kind of unfortunate for him.
Which is interesting to me because, especially during the first match, for the majority of it, laning phase, great from Voy. Mid-game skirmishes, great from Voy.
Yeah.
Late-game team fights, the first one, beautiful, and then it just kind of fell apart from there on out. So it feels like he does have that potential. Just really hope that he can step up coming into this game. And wow, picks and bans have flown through, and that's a very big pick coming out for Newbee. There's a lock-in Vladimir for their first pick. Alistar, Sivir, and Shen were the 3 bans that they throw out on the blue side of Summoner's Rift. Nidalee, Twisted Fate, and Talia are going to be the 3 bans that come out from Starhorn Royal Club.
So now a team is forcing Starhorn Royal Club to pick something other than Sivir for their AD carry. First game, Starhorn actually opted away from it, but this time, generally that is just that's their go-to pick. So now that they don't have that in their repertoire, it's going to be interesting to see what they go towards.
And Letme is going to be able to pick up his Gnar in this match. Wasn't taken away by V. Left open for Starhorn Royal Club to pick up. Now we're going to have to see if he can utilize that champion effectively.
Yeah, and I would love to see this Karma locked in as it does get locked in. So now they have 2 points of strength in their top lane. A Gnar pick working out well for them. Great pick up for Letme, and on top of that, Karma, which you got to expect to be coming mid, but you just don't know where this Vladimir is going to. V has played it topside.
Swift giving a shout out to the all-pick top laner in the NALCS. Honza. I'll bring the Teemo there.
We've seen a lot of interesting Teemo picks. Some accidental, some more of a dare, really.
Yeah, we did see the OP5 top laner from the NALCS pick that one up in one of his matches. Thank you, Reginald, for that delightful game.
Yeah, I mean, regardless, I always love seeing Teemo, even if it's just hovered.
Of course, fine. Everyone does. Yeah. And everyone does hover it from one time or another. Someone will eventually hover that champion. You either love him or you hate him. But for now, Rek'Sai as well as Jhin have been locked in. That's the next 2 picks coming out for Newbee. Still waiting to see what the next 2 picks for Starhorn Royal Club are going to be.
Yeah, I do love Happy's Jhin play. Incredibly played in the first game. So just getting back on that horse can be amazing to see how he plays it, because his positioning is always really well played, and his laning phase in the last game was also really well played. So he can be aggressive when he is given the opportunity, and maybe this is just another opportunity.
Let's see what Starhorn Royal Club decide to pick up as their next 2 picks. For now, they did lock in the Karma. It's a good flex pick between middle lane and bottom lane as a support, but we have seen it more frequently as a mid lane AP carry. They do lock in the Gragas, something we thought Instax should get the heck off of after that last game and be on something more carry base. They do lock it in, and they also pick up Lucian, taking him away from Happy, who played it last game.
So it's interesting to pick up the Lucian, especially since Malzahar is still on the field. You know that V is willing to take that Vladimir top side, so if you're picking Lucian and you are unsure what you're going up against and you are a mid lane mage, it's kind of unfortunate. But it's a good pick into Jhin. You can get the hop on him anytime. The Gragas, though, I do like Gragas on Insect right now. I only dislike it if he's going up against a poor matchup. So blind picking Gragas when he knows that Swift is willing to invade him, pick the Kha'Zix, Nidalee is off the field permanently by Starhorn Royal Club. Just any negative matchup, I just want to unlock Insect. And if this is the first way of doing it, then I'm fine. Going up against Rek'Sai is okay by me.
There you go. They are going to be locking in the Malzahar. You said it yourself, Raz. V has picked up the Vladimir up at the top side of the map. He's picked it up a couple of times. If he does play it this game, it means that he'd be fairly close to the same amount of games as Dade has played the champion in the mid lane for Newbee. But we have to see where Malzahar is going to go, because we have seen him in the jungle. There's potential for him to be played in the top lane as well. The all-round big flex picks coming out from the teams. Now the question for Starhorn Royal Club is their last pick a mid laner or a support for their team? Because they are using that Karma as a flex pick. Nami was actually locked in for Newbee as well.
Yeah, so that bottom lane should be locked down by Newbee. Nami is always the take you through the laning phase pick, carry you through that laning phase, and of course, nice disengage throughout the game. But once again, definitely going to be that Vladimir top unless if V has anything to say about it, anything surprising. But it works out for him. Vladimir is a great laning champion. Oh, don't troll me. Oh, don't do this to me. But yeah, Vladimir is a great laning champion. So the fact that you are going through that lanes, the standard lanes, does help him out. The same goes for Malzahar. So honestly, any matchup you get is fine and works for him.
Welcome to the LPL, ladies and gentlemen, where we commonly see Malzahars played in the mid lane, in the top lane, and in the jungle. But today, we'll see V pick that champion up in the top side of the map, going up against the Gnar. Vladimir does benefit quite crucially from the Ghost, so Dane's playing that one in the mid lane to go up against the Victor. Because we did see the Karma Flex picked as a support.
Yeah, I think the main focus really comes back to the fact that Vladimir into the Gnar was going to be a little bit unfortunate. Now that Vladimir, that Gnar is going up against the Malzahar, it's a little bit better of a lane matchup, but of course, if Malzahar has some vulnerability issues in the mid lane, a longer lane is not going to help him out.
We're going to have to check in and see how that Malzahar top pans out for Newbee, because we're heading into Summoner's Rift for game number 2 between Starhorn Royal Club and Newbee. We're on to Summoner's Rift for the 3rd time in this best-of-5 series. Currently, Newbee are 2-0 up after a slugfest of a Game 1 and a very clinical victory in Game number 2 against Starhorn Royal Club.
Yeah, the score would indicate 2-0 being generally meaning they're getting thrashed, but not the case. Game 1 was fairly back and forth.
Well, that did mean the case for our last series, Raz. OMG taking on Young Miracles. Look what happened there.
That's true.
As Happy's now actually getting jumped on here by the Lucian as well as the Karma. Has to be a little bit careful. Another Q will come out shortly, slowing him down. But good on Nami's here.
Okay, that works out because definitely if he had blown the flash would have been really unfortunate, especially in the matchup. But all that really came out of it was more having to take his heal. Not that bad, especially since Nami can still use that as an offensive ability.
You do see Nami start that sometimes too, so not all that detrimental for Newbee. Star Royal Club were looking for something good. It was a good look coming up, and then they don't get anything out of it. They're even taking Ignite into the bottom lane. That shows they kind of want to be a bit aggressive here, Raz.
Oh, 100%. They do, and they should be able to get a lot of aggression out of it, especially since they knew they were going up against that Nami in the bottom lane. So just being able to pick a better lane, which ends up being the Karma, of course. They'll take that. They'll take that 100%.
Another Happy and More starting on the Krug camp, actually taking a bit of damage here. Whereas Voy and Lei have already completed their camp. So Happy a little bit slow. We'll head into the lane a little bit late, and this is spotted out by Starhorn Royal Club. So they should be able to get the level 2 advantage right off the bat. Happy and More missing 3 CS for that. Gonna have a little bit of a difficult lane to start things off.
Yeah, and they're just gonna get frozen out here. So right now, Newbee want to find a way back into it. They don't want to just get completely shoved out, but they probably don't have a say in the matter.
Very cheeky coming out from Voy, is able to dodge and weave, pick up the kill on towards that ward. Happy, still yet to hit level 2, but already posturing a little bit more aggressive than you'd usually see in this bottom lane. Mid lane, no Korn has picked up the Victor. We saw that's the last pick coming in for Starhorn Royal Club. Dade is on Vladimir, and we have seen him do some disgusting things on this champion, Raz.
Yeah. Definitely, and so the Vladimir for Dade, once he's gotten it, he can just solo carry games through it. But of course, if you have a Vladimir and if you ever get fed, that's just the case.
Here comes a Rek'Sai. They're looking for Lei. He has to flash away. Swift follows through. Locked down. Taken down. First blood coming out for Swift.
They punished that one target. Really well done. V on the other end.
He's dead. Malzahar just gets ganked on the top side of the map. Insect picks up the kill, pushed way too far up in this lane.
Yeah, really, that's what you kind of expect. One big point is, of course, if that gank in the bottom lane was going to happen, then there's no real reason to stay up that far up. Interesting.
Lucian just trying to be a pest here. Swift, he wants this buff. Let him have it.
Oh, and he gets the flash for it, too.
Wait, what? Boy, use the flash?
100%. Yeah, he flashed away because he was getting eat in on, and that's the bad decision to make. So, I guess he took your advice a little literally, where he just decided that, you know what, I'm gonna use my summoner abilities immediately.
I'm in trouble. Flash.
Get out of there.
So far, they go back into the lanes, though. Lei had to go back to base, still level 2 here. Happy and more. Get a little bit more breathing room here.
Yeah, now Insect does have to show himself bot side, because with 2 flashes down on both Lei and Void, I mean, Void could have just been fine, didn't have to use his flash, but regardless, that's said and done. It's happened now. So he does have to play towards his bot side now, or else they will continue to get ganked.
We are back in the mid lane. When Victor was very frequently played in the LPL after mid-season Magic, a big counterpick to that was the Vladimir. Teams were banning it out infrequently and only against certain players because it was not meta, so to speak. Very strong. No one just knew that it was a very strong champion.
Yep.
The first few times we saw it was the Vladimir being a big bully against the Victor. This
Definitely.
time around, though, things a little bit more even between Korn and Dade.
It just takes some time. Definitely once he gets his first item, his first upgrade, definitely going to be able to shove in, but at the same time, that's not going to mean much because once Vladimir starts to get his, or just levels in general, once he gets level 9, able to max out that Q, his trade is just going to be that much better.
Certainly is. Korn was already forced back to base rather early here, picked up another Doran's ring, but still doing fine in this lane. Dade yet to use his potion or even head back to base. But now things are quiet on Summoner's Rift. Last time we saw Dade play this champion was against LGD in that match. It was their victory with the champion too.
Yeah, he was very dominant on the pick. That was a game that Newbee, they definitely played poorly in.
Yep.
But Dade was able to carry it through and through because he was far too tanky for how much damage he was doing.
Pretty much. They'll be hoping for a repeat performance here. So far, though, we check in with the rest of the lanes. Malzahar slightly ahead in CS, but did dive once to Insect in the jungle. Swift has his Tiamat, is brought down into the bottom lane after picking up first blood, just to kind of help Happy and more shove this lane in and try not to let Starhorn World Cup freeze it.
Yeah, they wanted to go back. Sated Devourer probably for that Jhin. It's going to be a good back timing for him. Yep, there we go.
There it is. Picks it up, so Jhin will be heading back into the lane against the Lucian.
Did I say Sated Devourer?
Yes.
I wanted to say Dirk.
Sated Dirk.
Oh my god, Sated Devourer. Yeah, that would have been unlucky.
So Happy picks up the Sated Devourer, moves back into the lane. Chaos Storming, using the mid lane Korn, trying to force Dade out of this lane. Lots of ticks of damage coming out from that one. And he decides to use his potion and stay, Raz. Dade is an interesting man.
Well, he can stay. Definitely. Vladimir, a very annoying part is that when you try to shove him off, you can never really shove him off.
As here's V up on the top side of the map, puts the Malefic Visions on towards Let Me. Does have the Rek'Sai waiting in his back pocket, just sitting in the river. And now there's a Nami up here as well. It's a 7-minute swap of the support to the top side of the map.
It helps out because at this point, Jhin is holding the wave bot line. He doesn't lose anything from this. So Happy is in a good place. This dive can happen at any point.
There is a Gragas rotating up though. They spot him out. They know Insect's there. Insect does not know that the Rek'Sai is there. Gonna have to be careful.
Just one movement. One movement
They go in though. They want Let Me first. Bubble comes in as well. Good body slam though. Nails Swift, but he just flashes forward, gets the kill. Now he's on the turret though. Has to run away. The Void League's trying to help him out. Flash forward from Insect. Good knockup from Swift. There goes more. The support saves him. He's going to smack him a couple of times, and the bubble will suffocate him and drown the Gragas. Big pick in the top lane for Newbee.
Insect played that really well. I'm not going to lie. He played it super well. Able to almost get Swift down, almost kill him under tower, but more Mùa, man. He is lifesaver.
Showing why he got MVP in that last match, Raz. He's been playing well throughout the series for Newbee. Especially in that last game of Braum, and now showing that he can take the Nami to the Rift as well. Dade, mid lane, gets the Crimson Rush, trades back and forth with Korn. Suddenly, there's a lay in his mid lane. Has to try and ghost away. Does have his splash available. Uses the Hemoplague, trying to heal up. Going toe-to-toe, trying to see if he can trade back and forth, but does heal up fantastically from his ultimate. And actually scares off the Karma.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be hard. It's always hard to really gank that matchup. And on top of that, not only was Mùa a superstar in that topside gank. Ooh, here we go.
Dade still going toe-to-toe. Chaos Storm going to take damage. Crimson Rush keeps him alive. Heals him up really well. Forces the flash to be burnt by Korn because we do have the Rek'Sai moving into the mid lane. And Dade still holds on to this flash.
They're all playing incredibly well as a unit at every point. If Dade is getting jumped on, of course Swift is there. They're in sync at the moment.
They certainly are. Bottom lane even looking to go slightly in favor of Newbee. Happy is down in CS, but you kind of expect that when your support leaves your lane at 7 minutes into the match to roam to the top lane.
Exactly, but he handled it well. He played it incredibly well, especially since he's going up against a Lucian pick that really can harm him at any moment in time.
Swift wants this, gets the smite down, will be able to take the tunnel to safety. Now they're on top of Mùa, going to be altered back towards safety.
Yeah, that left turn that he made is really beneficial. If he had kept going forward, definitely would have been hit right back to the team of Starhorn Royal Club.
Yep, pulls off a Zoolander, goes hard left, doesn't look back.
I did not. Okay, so the thing is with that movie is that I feel like I've seen it about 3 times, but I never remember it. I actually just, it's like an experience. It really is an out-of-body experience.
You know what? Go watch it again.
I don't know if that's going to make me remember it.
There's nothing wrong with watching Zoolander a couple of times, Raz, even if it's 4 times.
Feels like the least memorable movie for whatever reason. I actually just don't understand.
It's great.
Yeah. The only point I know is the ants section, where it's like, is this building for ants? I see now. I don't even remember the quote. The movie is just not memorable.
I'll tell you what, your memory right now, Raz, it's built for ants, obviously.
Yeah, there we go. That's the quote.
As Newbee now try to push down the bottom lane, trying to walk this wave in towards the turret. Starhorn Royal Club about 1,800 gold behind Newbee. And again, as we've seen in all 3 games so far, Newbee take the early lead. Starhorn Royal Club just trying to react wherever they can.
Yeah, so right now they're always in the back foot, as you said. Which is interesting because with how this bot lane's going, sure, yeah, they were behind. Don't have the flash. Oh, actually, here we go.
No.
No. But that's exactly the idea that we should be seeing from Starhorn Royal Club. They're just
go.
not able to get it.
There's 3 shots. The 4th will hit on towards Voy instead.
There we go. But yeah, how this matchup's supposed to work, it really is in favor of Starhorn. They're supposed to get that jump on Happy at any moment in time. But Happy barely even has the support in his lane. More is either walking out to ward, or I guess walking topside to get that gank going from. But Happy's playing the wave really well.
He's fairly happy with how this game is going as well for Newbee. 2,000 goal lead at the moment for his team too. 11 minutes into the match, Newbee looking to continue to do what they do. They don't get these massive leads, but slowly increment goal leads through nice picks and good small plays.
Yeah. And it's honestly something, it's great for them that the fact that they're able to get these leads so consistently, right? That really does showcase a lot of creativity for them.
Moore's got to be careful. Pops the ultimate. Ray has to actually flash away. This is a 3v2, and even Insect's running for the hills because Swift is making his way downtown. He's walking fast, but he's trying to make the faces pass because Starhorn Royal Club are just running straight back towards their turret and making sure they stay nice and healthy. That forces Swift back out, and they can't quite get the dive that Newbee wanted to go for.
Interestingly enough, they did not have the TP advantage, so I think they were just trying to force a TP out of Gnar and just back away.
They've got Dade, though. He's in Fog of War. Will get spotted out by that ward. Swift goes in, gets a double knockup. Voy has to try and run away. Gets lots of damage down himself. Hemoplague onto 3 members. Lay's going to fall. Gragas taking a lot of damage. Hemoplague's almost enough to take down the Gragas, but he'll live to tell the tale. Still, Newbee looking to take an objective afterwards.
Exactly. And great job from V just finding where Let Me is, so he never really gets a chance to help out his teammates.
They're going to slowly chip away at this turret, but Jin, notoriously well known for not pushing incredibly fast, will still chip away. At the same time, Newbee work on taking down the first dragon of this game off the back of that pick. Kondo ghosting to the top side of the map. V gonna have to be careful. Chaos Storm has been used. It's gonna continue following him forward. Pops his own ultimate. Chaos Storm ticking. Voidlings fighting. They're still chasing, but will get taken down. Korn lives with a sliver of health.
Woo! That was intense. So able to turn back. I was wondering if he would be able to get that kill, but great roam from Korn. They do lose that dragon. Don't lose the bottom lane tower, so that's a good trade in the end of the day.
It certainly was a pick for a pick, but Newbee are the ones that come out on top with the objectives. Lei still trying to be an absolute pest, just gets a couple of auto attacks down on towards Swift and make sure that he can be spotted by the rest of his team. However, Lucian, you shouldn't be pushed up that far when there's a Swift behind you. Has to try and jump away. Will get flashed on and locked down by the Curticle that comes out. Dodges the first shot. Second one coming in. Swift, though.
Oh.
He can't take that many shots, buddy. But the big juke shoes will be coming out from Voy. Puts himself on top there.
Happy was not able to get a single bullet. Just came down to mind games right there, where Void was going to hand it. If he got hit by any bullet, it would have been bad for him.
And suddenly Dade going toe-to-toe against Korn. He's got so many members of Starhorn World Cup chasing him. Let Me flashes forward, gets the boomerang down. Will get Crimson Rush, but it doesn't matter because Let Me picks up the kill. And Starhorn World Club turn on the heat here, Raz.
Nice surge for this team, and it really all started from Lucian with his blue suede shoes. So he does end up dodging a lot of that. And of course, Dade getting caught coming back straight to the mid lane.
Deadly Flourish, dodge. 3 shots, dodge.
Oh.
Happy jumps in. It's going to be the Deathfire touch that gets the kill. The unexpected crit is the best crit, Raz, because they take down the 80 carry.
In style, too. So Happy, so much confidence coming out of him. This is probably the only real time that I could say that he's playing as if he's happy. I could make that pun without really it being ironic.
But more, he's gone. Sent back in towards the Victor. Gets obliterated now. It's Happy that's running for the hills.
He should be fine.
Used his flash there.
He doesn't have to heal. I'm pretty sure he really did not have to heal, but
he
better
did.
safe than sorry.
Had to run away. And Happy, though, you know, you can dodge my Deadly Flourish. You can dodge 3 shots of my ultimate. That's fine. Dodge this. Flashes forward. Gets a big crit to the face.
You really love to see it. I really do love seeing this side of Happy because he's usually on the opposite side of those attacks. So now that he's starting to change as a player, or he's just he's finally seen someone who's far inferior to him in Voy.
Starhorn World Club have stopped the bleeding, though. It's 5-5 in kills and a single dragon that's only separated teams going on over towards Newbee. Structures, though, are slowly being chipped away by Newbee across the map. So
that's true.
It's going to be important to see if they can take down the first structure and get the first structure gold. Swift finds Let Me, gets some damage down on towards him, picks up the Krug Camp for himself as well. But Let Me will get hyper and continue chasing the Rek'Sai, but it should just be the two of them butting heads and fighting one another for a short period of time before see the Nile go back to base. Bottom lane, More and Happy trading back and forth against Void. They've got an insect down here, right behind the turret. No wave yet. Newbee gonna have to see how they're gonna try and fight themselves out of this one. They do fight. Void taking damage. That's a critical. Gets a kill. Takes him down, and he says, "If you're gonna gank me, you're going down with me, Starhorn World Club." More trying to flash away now. Dade trying to interfere with this chase on towards the Nami. Forces the flash coming out from the Karma. Now Insect in a little bit of trouble. Has to run away.
Nami's not dying.
He's still running. He will eventually fall down. The river is a home, Raz. She can swim out of that one, but can't quite fit on dry land.
Oh, so ends up getting the flash out of Lei, and you better believe that they got a timer for that one.
Whew.
I feel like every single time we look towards this bot lane, their flashes are getting blown. And on top of that, they are collectively 4 deaths on that bottom lane.
Feels like Happy that he sees 4 people coming down to his lane. He's like, oh no, you don't. You're going down with me. Not letting this happen.
He knew there was no exit strategy. His exit was taking down Void with him.
That's what I like to see. Classic LPL. Just fight. That's the best way to get out of a sticky situation.
I mean, there's no other way at that point. He was actually just not going to leave alive. So
Starhorn World Club still sending multiple members down into this bottom lane. They have 2 camped down in this bush.
Ooh.
Swift, though, goes in. Hello, I find you. I see you. I know exactly where you are. And now Happy's going to fight both of them. Void taking so much damage from that crit. Still being chased down. No curtain call yet coming out from Happy. There it is. Gets one. Void, you better run. Dashes away from it. Has to heal. The
Ooh.
crit's not going to connect because he puts on those blue shade shoes, but does force the summoner spell. And now the first structure gold will fall and go over towards Newbee.
Hides within the fog of war, but does not matter. You still get shoved out of your lane. And so constantly this pressure is incredible coming out. Void is able to hold on to his flash, surprisingly enough. Yeah, Karma no flash, Horn no flash, Insect no flash. We're in a position where Starhorn, they're constantly on the back foot.
And they move to the mid lane. Korn gets locked down, then goes Dade. Swift's on top of him as well. Happy is an happy man with a shutdown as Dade picks up the second kill for his team. Lei was just a casualty through the crossfire as they try to stop them from pushing on towards this turret, but they carefully get out of there.
The two victims of it, of course, did not have flash, so they tried to commit to save that tower, have no right to.
Going in again, Dade going to be the one that tanks up the turret to start things off. Incredibly low, but will get Crimson Rush. Sanguine Pool used, now has that rush, can't quite use it to heal up. Let Me now coming around the backside of this fight as Insect tries to go back in, but they do lose their support who was caught by the culling.
Yeah, so a lot of aggression coming out of Newbee. They do, yeah, of course, lose that support, but a great aggression coming out of Newbee. This is what I want to see them. They know that they can take out this final game, head straight back into the LPL, so they're not afraid. Especially not Dade. Look at that.
Dade, he's got no fear, Raz.
None whatsoever.
None whatsoever. 2,000 damage dealt during that last team fight. Dragon has been started by Starhorn Royal Club. The Newbies are the ones that picked up the previous Dragon, and they've already positioned to go for a fight. Void taking quite a bit of damage to start things off. Swift is waiting in the wings. They're not giving this one up, and they're slowly tanking so much damage. Insect has to body slam away. The crit shot lands straight on Loy's face. Swift has to try and go for the smite fight. Doesn't get it. Insect still picks that one up. Takes the tunnel over the wall. Now Star and Royal Club that are trying to run. Gravity Field will lock down Newbee in return. So they do take the Dragon, but now it's Newbee that want to try and push for the base.
Great zoning curtain call coming out of Happy. Not able to get the Baron, the Dragon on top of it, unfortunately.
But a trade.
Exactly. Inside track onto this mid lane tower, and that's probably even more beneficial.
And that falls. Another turret falls for Newbee. That puts them 3,000 gold in the lead, and they only traded Ocean Dragon. One they already had, so it's back to even between the two teams in terms of Dragon control.
Yeah, so you definitely want to see that trade happening if you're Newbee. Getting that mid lane tower, a lot more control coming out of them.
Starday now heads down towards the bottom lane, looking to clear out this big minion wave that Let Me was pushing on towards his turret. And now we actually see the AD carries and support. Happy and more heading up towards the top side of the map. V left all on his own to try and defend against Starhorn Royal Club's 4-man team that are trying to collapse in on towards this lane. Rek'Sai does show up as well, spots out Insect trying to go around the backside of this pit. And we'll be able to successfully stop them from collapsing on towards the turret. Happy sent towards the top lane, going to be dealing with a big minion wave that is crashing on towards his turret.
That's showcasing some weaknesses in terms of Newbee's composition. They do not have safe wave clear. Their wave clear is in Dade and V, and not very reliable either of them.
Their wave clear, Raz, is killing Starhorn Royal Club.
Oh, there we go. Well, let's see if they can utilize it.
Mega Gnar coming out from Let Me. Newbee let it happen and see if they can wait out the timer.
It's a different kind of wave clear, really. You always think of wave clear as just clearing out the minions that are coming through. But what if the wave is the wave that is the 5-man strong Starhorn Royal Club?
Firstly, Death is the best crowd control and also the best wave clear. Secondly, they have their own wave. Maul can throw this big tidal wave. They don't need to clear it.
Here comes the wave clear.
There's the ultimate coming out from Happy. Gets a couple of shots down, but it's just used to zone the team, blowing the cooldown of Jhin.
Oh, it is. They're clearing them out. But yeah, they do have the inside track on this Baron now, just clearing out. That's always nice for them.
8 kills to 8, but it's still Newbee with the gold lead. Baron's up and available to be taken as Let Me on the top side of the map. He is in trouble. You've got a couple of members moving up here. Has to be very careful he doesn't get flanked on by the Rek'Sai. Bouncing blade comes out from Happy, just trying to get some damage down. Very close to Mega Gnar, but they're going for the dive anyway. Swift decides, hell no, not doing this anymore. As Gnar comes in, knocks him into the wall as he tries to get the heck out of there. Insect goes in, knocks him back into the turret. He's not taking aggro anymore as he will get locked down by Malzahar. Malefic Vicious enough. Dade, you're deep into this pit, buddy. Gets a kill for himself. Chaos Storm is huge, coming out on top of all the members of Newbee. They trade it back 3 for 2, and they will maybe be able to go duel and go toe-to-toe against Dade. Korn and Let Me still trying to fight this one out. They lose 3 members, but they do take down the bottom lane AD carry in support of Newbee.
Yeah, it's a positive trade for Newbee, but boy, that was interesting.
Whew.
The damage coming out of Korn was insane, and it just came down to the fact that Newbee, they smelled blood, they grouped in for that dive, and it was just right on top of that damage coming in.
Spawn says it best, Raz. He dropped the base right there. The Victor was absolutely monstrous during that team fight. Starhan Royal Club, though, are still behind. 3,000 gold is the lead for Newbee. Letme's actually sent down into the bottom lane to clear out this wave. And you can even see the damage dealt in that fight, Raz.
Yeah.
Newbee just, they hurt.
They definitely do, and on top of that, you just don't want to look to dive a near mega ulti Gnar. You just don't want to do it. Not exactly the smartest idea. So they went in with a flawed concept. They didn't get completely burnt. They got a positive trade, but it could have been awful.
Channeling their positive energy here, Newbee. So they look to try and continue doing what they've done this entire game, which is hunt for these outer turrets. Last one left standing is that top lane one. They're looking for it with a dive on towards Letme. It does not connect, and now the structure is incredibly low, worn and tattered. But Voy and Leia sent up towards the top lane and looking to try and defend it. Swift wrapping around the back is a fairly tanky Rek'Sai with the Cinderhulk and Titanic Hydra picked up previously. Both the top laners still split pushing on the bottom side of the map. Both have their teleport available as well in case things go south on the top side of this map.
Yeah, Swift has been very annoying at this point. Very tanky, has the Titanic, classic build. So at any point, if he does get walked in on, he's going to kill him. But, oh, happy.
Yomu is happy, getting a little bit too excited here. Trying to push for this turret. Looking to get a couple of shots down. That might be all it takes to take down the turret with a few minions there.
Definitely can't hide his excitement.
But Newbee turned their attention elsewhere. For now, it is in the red side jungle of Starhan Royal Club. It's Void, gonna get locked down, has to dash away. That's a dash blown, has to flash. Gonna be putting on his blue suede shoes. Tidal Wave even juked as well. He does get jumped up, but the crit's gonna miss. Swift still dealing a lot of damage as here comes Starday. You can't escape that, my friends. And he gets knocked back politely in towards Korn, who's trying to deal with this guy. Letme on the bottom side of the map goes toe-to-toe against V, decides he does not like Voidlings, so he backs off from that one.
Definitely just don't have the taste for it. But they're going to walk towards this Baron.
They lose the top lane in the turret. They sweep out the vision and they start the Baron. Already a third of its health done in damage. Insect, he's done a smite steal before. He'll be looking to do it again. Teleports are coming in. Letme is going to join the fight. Korn is around the back half of the pit. More. He's going to fall down. Will be taken down. Insect looking for the steal. Swift going for a smite. War. It will be picked up by Jin though. So Newbee do get the Baron. And now they're looking to see if they can go for the fight. Tade incredibly healthy on this. Vladimir is looking to just clean this one up. Insect's going to fall. Letme falls as well. And Newbee are going to dance all the way back to base.
Incredibly well done by Happy. If you saw how he played that out, it just came down to how are they going to not get that Baron stolen. And so he legitimately waited. Ooh. Nah, he can get out of there for free. He's fine. But he waited for so long just holding on to his final crit to the point where he could just last hit the Baron. Doesn't matter how much damage Insect's doing. At this point, cannot outsmite that crit from Happy. Just look at him. Standing still. Standing cool, calm, and collected. Bam! Just smacks that Baron. And of course, he has to flash out of the pit entirely.
That does mean Newbee, they get the Baron attempt they're looking for, take down all the outer turrets in this game. And execution-wise, Raz, in comparison to that first game and also the match they played against LGD, so much better coming out from Newbee. They even take down the Infernal Dragon that just spawned.
Yeah, they make the right choice and they make it well. Of course, I always like to just take the fight if you can, but if they're going for that Baron rush, if they want to make it a 50-50, they're not making it a 50-50. It's turning into a 70-30. Gragas really has to look to outplay because they're burning it at the right time.
As Newbee now looking to try and push down the bottom lane inhibitor turret. Kurtikor comes out to start things off. Void has to be protected by Insect. Already incredibly low. Mid lane outer turret and inner turret going to take a lot of damage now as Dade is still split pushing. Swift is called down here to give him some assistance. And this turret will slowly fall with a few final pushes coming out from Newbee. They've got a 7,000 gold lead here. Raz looking incredibly strong in this third match, and they can taste it. They can taste their return into the LPL for next split.
Yeah, definitely. It just comes back to 1 point. Lucian coming back, the reason why he was just not a factor anymore was because of these ranged mages coming through in both Malzahar and Vladimir. Both of them can really just, they're assassins, but at the same time, they're fairly tanky.
Tell you what, Raz.
Yeah.
It's not like we've got two of them in this game or anything.
I mean, Newbee is legitimately one of the only teams that can just pull it off and say, you know what, give me Vladimir top. But in this case, they decided to give me Malzahar top. They are incredibly flexible, and that flexibility sometimes can just bite them, but this time it is fairly damaging, especially towards Voy, who, he's had positioning problems in the previous games, but this game, it's not even his fault, really. This time he's actually played as well as he possibly could, but going up against this composition, there is no winning point for him.
Let's see what Starhung Royal Club can do now, because they're approaching 10,000 gold, a 10,000 gold deficit. Happy's picked up his red buff. He's got some major items for himself. Dustblade picked up with the Yomu's Ghostblade, looking for an Infinity Edge as his next item. On the flip side, it's just Yomu's Black Cleaver being completed by Voy, and that's it. That's all he has. It can be difficult for him to fight through this. Not even a QSS being picked up on the side of Starhung Royal Club. So, whoever V decides to lock down, they're going to stay locked down for quite some time.
Yeah, the only real other threat is knocking it down, the passive down, by just a Gragas Q into a possible ulti.
Here comes a Curtain Call though. Dade ghosting into the back lines, has a tidal wave to assist him. Voy has been locked down and shut down. Dade has to flash away from the Chaos Storm, gets dealt a lot of damage, still alive. Let me with a big Gnarl to take him down. A 1-for-1 trade to start things off. Newbee still have a Baron buff. Well, no, that's actually going to expire as they push for this turret. They do trade 1-for-1, 80 carry for mid laner, but they get the major structure for their effort.
Yeah, worthwhile effort. Insect has to go back to base. Same with Let Me, so this next one is on them.
Forward. There's the flash. They lock down Korn on top of the Malzahar ultimate, and they're just moving forward, Raz. Insect's dead. Double kill comes out for Happy. They're chasing. They can taste it, Raz. They're looking for Let Me as well. The bubble comes in but doesn't connect. Dustblade's going to try and take it down. He's inching closer and closer to the Fountain Laser and knows his boundaries as they wait for a top lane way to come towards this inhibitor.
Yeah, right now Let Me is just trying to lure him into that tower.
As Voy respawns, takes a lot of damage on the back half of that, uses the culling, trying to zone the team. Mega Gnar's coming out. Nah, not available though, so he can't just jump in and shove them into a wall. Newbee though, take down the inhibitor as they break through the base of Starhung Royal Club.
Yeah, topside inhib down, exactly what they needed to open this game up. They really want this win, of course. This would just finish their night. They can go back towards their vacation, head home. Much needed after what should be a fairly scarring season.
That word is banned, Raz. No vacations.
Oh, I mean, we're not, this is China. We're fine with vacations. We're okay. In fact, we do a little bit too much of it during the regular season.
So far, though, Newbee, very calm and collected in this game. Have been making small mistakes again, but most of the time they go for big trades. And it's been working out very well for them so far. 1 minute and 30 until both Dragon and Baron respawn. Still going to be an Elemental Dragon. No Elder Dragon left yet. But they're 12,000 gold in the lead, Raz. It's a very big advantage for Newbee, and they're in the late game especially.
Yeah, definitely. It's a massive advantage for them. Big point, too, is they keep giving blue to Happy. There's a lot of CDR already, but it's just going to keep stacking for them. So that means Curtain Call whenever they really want it. So they're just playing around Curtain Call whenever it comes up. That's exactly what they should be doing. Really calm, really tempered from them.
And speaking of Happy, he's picked up 2 major items for himself. Infinity Edge complete, as well as the Hex Drinker being picked up as his second item.
Yeah, so able to take a bit of the damage coming in from Korn, but at the same time, the IE really does add to the power. So any automatic crits coming out of his 4th bullet will kind of be doing a little bit of more damage.
Newbee, it just seems like they're waiting, trying to push a wave in towards the mid lane inhibitor turret. 30 seconds till Baron spawns, so they could look to try and take down that major objective when it's up. They do have an inhibitor broken on the top side of the map, so we'll slowly have super minions crashing in towards their base. Dade almost gets jumped on by Insect, but just kites back and forth in between the aggro of the turret. And looking to try and chip away at one of these structures. For now, though, they just can't quite find an avenue to attack because every single time Starhung Royal Club do clear it with the Victor.
No, it's coming soon with the top lane wave coming right now, crashing into that Nexus tower.
And there
this
they
will
go.
be it.
V goes in, gets a shot on towards the turret. That's all they have to keep doing. There's the curtain call, looking to slow them down. Void gets tagged, knocked up by the tidal wave. Aegis of the Legion comes out as well just to keep them alive. That's a big crit on towards the Karma. Lockdown as well, burning from the Deathfire touch. Mega Knight's going to be coming out from Let Me's, looking for a chance to go in. Silenced by Malzahar before he can jump for the fight. And now Mega Knight's down, and slowly these turrets at the Nexus have been whittled away. And they've already got some work done on towards this turret. They're going back in, happy, looking for it. Flashes away respectfully against Insect. Did not want to get knocked back into the base while he was taking aggro from that turret. So win for Sahan Royal Club. They do successfully repel the push, but for how long is the question?
Good question at that, because right now they're going to keep playing the game how it's supposed to be played. They should just keep going, playing it. Just allow Starhorn Royal Club to outplay themselves, because they're desperate at this point. They want a fight because their door is just getting knocked on by millions of minions just saying, hello, hey, remember me? It's really annoying at this point, and they're gonna have to send someone, primarily Korn, because he has a massive amount of wave clear. But if they do send Korn, that means the wave clear coming from the bottom side tower.
And he's the shining light for Sahan Royal Club as well. 7-2-2. Incredibly far ahead. Could probably match Dade in terms of gold, because he is about 50 CS up ahead of the Vladimir too. And we've already seen what he can do when he uses the Chaos Storm effectively in a team fight. And that's probably what Starhorn Royal Club really wants to try and see if they can get done. If they get a good Chaos Storm off, a good Victor spell rotation off onto their carries, they do have the potential of trying to take a fight, but it's a slim chance, Raz. 12,000 gold just 34 minutes into the game. Difficult to fight against.
Yeah, they definitely have a lot of outplay potential. The Gragas ulti being able to disperse whatever team fight is going on, or just make a pick off of it. On top of that, the consistent Victor damage does mean a lot.
Here they go.
This will have to be the time, though.
Newbee pull the trigger on towards the Baron. Insect. He's done a steal before, hasn't been able to get the last few, but he goes in, and it's stolen away by Victor. Starhorn Royal Club keep their dreams alive, but now they have to run away. Dade, he's ghosting in. He's into the back lines already. Korn has a hard left turn to get away from this one. Dade goes in. There he goes. Tries to get the hero play down. He gets locked down, gets taken down, but he takes the support with him. Still, big steal coming out from Korn.
Korn able to take that down. Incredibly done. He ain't even gets a kill trade for it. Trading Lei for Dade, you'll make that trade every day. So, once again, Starhorn Royal Club, their avenue back into the game comes down to these Baron runs. Being able to steal it.
They are holding on tight here, Raz. They're not giving up. They know that it's still possible. Young Miracles took it to 5 games against OMG. They were not successful there. Starhorn Royal Club want to try and start their reverse sweep journey, but still a mountain to climb. Baron buff taken down means they close that gold gap, but it's only by 10,000 gold. What they're really going to have to do now is do what Newbee did like 2 games ago, which is just sit back, relax, wait for 80,000 gold, and then pull that trigger.
Yeah, you kind of have to. And you do have the outplay potential in these team fights with Gragas, Victor, Gnar. Those 3 champions have turned many of games. And in this game, they're all in one team. Anything's possible here.
Whew, certainly is. And this series, it's only been 3 games so far, but it's been an absolute joy to watch and a slugfest between these 2 teams. Great to see them playing a lot cleaner as we progress through this best of 5 series as well, especially from Newbee's side of the map, and Starhorn Royal Club pulling out these unexpected plays like the Baron steals that we've seen twice already in this series. One coming from Insect, now one coming in from Korn as well. Always a threat when they go for those 50-50 situations.
Exactly.
But all it's really done is just put on the brakes for 3 minutes here. Newbee more than happy to wait that Baron buff out, more than happy to wait for their summoner spells to come back up as well.
Going to be interesting to see how Newbee do play this out if they decide to continue that aggression, as they are pushing out this top lane while Baron buff is still alive.
Because the emitter is back. I can't do words anymore, Raz.
Oh, I can't do it either. Don't even worry about it. We're going in for a long night.
Started my sentence with a because, and I realized that I'm not going to be answering the question with an answer, so there's no reason to start with because there. But the inhibitor is back up on the top lane for Starhorn Royal Club, so no more super minions pushing in towards their base. Newbee, in the meantime, while they wait for this Baron buff to expire, are still pushing through the middle lane. They do have the Malzahar on the bottom lane, and that Baron buff is almost done as well.
Yeah, but they're able to stall it out for quite some time, of course, so that's really good for them. 1-3-1 being shown by Newbee this time, so maybe that's the ticket.
Hello, Curtain Call comes out.
Insect's happy to take all of that.
And the Tidal Wave comes out too.
Yeah,
We've seen this a few times, but normally when they do go for this initiation, they're already waiting to batter down that turret.
Perhaps he's trying to see how much damage he has for him. Because he actually has so much CDR in his kit that you can just keep doing that. And especially since he has the IE for himself. A lot of auto attack damage coming from him. So he can spend some time with his ulti.
Very crucially though, for Starhorn Royal Club, the carries have both picked up their QSS, so it's going to be difficult to lock down Korn, as well as Voy. And Mikhail's Crucible picked up by Lei as well, so he'll be able to assist a teammate if they do get locked down. V still pushing on the bottom side of the map. Elder Dragon coming up in 58 seconds. Newbee did not get the Baron, was stolen away by Korn. They do have the potential to chase for another epic monster. They do have 3 dragons picked up as well. One of them being a Mountain Dragon, which means they can even push hard for these turrets with that extra 15% they would get once they get the Elder Dragon down.
They're really causing such a fuss in the mid lane right now because Rek'Sai is actually getting autos on that top lane inhib simply because Rek'Sai can't do, or at least Victor can't do too much overall. Maybe slight bursts. Ooh, you gotta watch out for that. But every single time they shove this lane in, Swift is just either challenging this matchup or he's just challenging this inhib.
And it's blue suede shoes bought for everyone on Starhorn Royal Club as they just dodge everything thrown at them coming out from Happy. Inhibitor still taking damage coming out from Swift. Every time he runs up, Letme's like, oh, I know this Rek'Sai guy. He hurts. I don't want to fight him anymore. He's got 6 items. Suddenly Voice sent up here as well. You're just going to tap at him, buddy, because Swift doesn't really care.
Yeah.
Takes actually no damage.
He actually just regens whenever he feels like it. Just, ooh, here we go.
There goes Insect trying to knock Happy into the base. Splashes away. It's back up. There goes Letme. Nah, into the wall. Happy stunned up. Insect in. 80 carry dead. Dade now into the back lines, looking to return the treatment on towards Voy. They trade 80 carries for now, but Voy's still alive. Dade's down. Swift is going to be the next target. Starhorn Royal Club, they're doing it, Raz. They've taken down 3 members of Newbee. Guardian Angel available for the Rek'Sai, but will die as soon as he comes back up and online. And their comeback dream starts right now, Raz.
40 seconds, 50 seconds, death timers. Really, all they can really look to do is either take down that Elder Dragon. That would be a good start. Taking down Elder Dragon, 1 minute and 20 seconds on the Baron, which means that once they get this, they can head back to base and then walk in, have enough time to clear out vision.
Still, they have yet to take down an outer turret, which every single turret they take at this point in time brings the gold lead back closer and closer in their favor. More importantly, getting closer and closer towards that 80,000 gold mark where they both have 6 items. But take a look at this again, Raz. It's just Insect starting to play off for his team.
Yeah, he decided to go for that Insect on Gragas, which is 10 times easier than Lee Sin. Not going to call everything an Insect, so I just wanted to pull that out there. But yeah, that was a really great look. Happy was far too forward, especially since their main tank line in Swift is in the top side of the map. So you really can't afford to go up, walk up that forward, especially since he does not have a rapid fire cannon, something that Jins would usually rely on in terms of just being able to siege up on a tower.
So, Elder Dragon down. We already saw Swift and Dade not able to go toe-to-toe against the sole 80 carry on the side of Starhorn Royal Club. Got a little bit of assistance at the end of that team fight, but unfortunately, again, as we approach the late game, Raz, Murphy's Law strikes and something goes wrong. We have a few technical difficulties before we can continue this match between Starhorn Royal Club and Newbee. But still, it's been a good match so far, Raz. Again, going as we expected. Newbee coming off strong early. Yet to make those really big mistakes. In fact, this time around it kind of feels like everything that's going in Starhorn Royal Club's favor has been because of the proactiveness from Starhorn Royal Club, especially that last fight.
Yeah, so Starhorn Royal Club, it's more, I guess it's proactive, kind of reactive in a sense, because they needed to do something. They really did, because they were just getting choked out, and honestly, Swift was in a position where he was just kind of putting in a few cheeky auto attacks on that inhib. It's a bad way to really use your 1-3-1, especially since Malzahar will not be putting any damage onto that bottom lane tower. But it's down. And so now, at this point, question is, what is Starhorn Royal Club going to do? They have Elder Dragon.
It's going to be interesting. They're only 8,000 gold behind, and we're approaching 80,000 gold. So the gold is slowly becoming irrelevant, Raz. Still a big lead for Newbee. But they do have this Elder Dragon, and Baron is up. Newbee want to wait this one out. Even though it's 2 dragons for Starhorn Royal Club, it's still a lot of burn damage and a lot of combat stats you can get from this dragon. Instead, they push for the mid lane inhibitor. Oh, not inhibitor. Turret. The first turret that Starhorn Royal Club get in this game.
Yeah, first tower of the game for Starhorn Royal Club. There's been a lot of firsts here. Able to get that going for them. Maybe that will result in their first win. We'll find out. But it will come down to this. They don't want to go for the Baron at all.
Instead, Insect just decides to tank up a few auto attacks from the big purple worm. Swift has been sent towards the top side of the map, trying to deal with this big wave crashing onto his turret. That gold lead has shrunk. Still 7,000 gold, but that's 5,000 gold clawed back for Starhorn Royal Club in the past 5 minutes. If they can keep this up, slowly but surely they'll take it to the late game and try to do what Newbee did against them in game number 1.
At this point, it's pretty much late game. There's one item for both teams that are really just not getting completed. But at this point, it just comes down to map advantage. The map advantage is heavily in Newbee's favor. Ooh, you need to protect Boy here. He's going to take a lot of damage. Okay, he's going to farm it up. It's fine.
Just going to wait for the curtain call. You know, I'm just going to stand here. That's fine. Yeah. This is fine.
So, but yeah, map advantage is in Newbee's favor. A team fight win in the base of Starhorn Royal Club will only really result in, sure, maybe now a Baron, but only 1 tower. And I guess an Elder Dragon for them as well. Not really a game-ending point 40 minutes into this game.
I'm curious to see what Newbee going to do next. They've been the ones that have been pulling the trigger time and time again. It's only really recently where Starhorn Royal Club have been the proactive team, or reactive like you mentioned during that technical difficulty. 2 inhibitors are open for Newbee to try and push for. Top lane and bottom lane turrets have been taken down. Only mid lane turret is left standing. Fortunately for Starhorn Royal Club as well, they still have both their Nexus turrets, so not as in a dire situation as you expect. And hello, are you Insect? I think I've seen someone do this before in the series, but let me almost mega. V gets caught, gets taken down. Starhorn Royal Club get a pick, but they lose their support. Still, good trade. Top laner for support to start things off. Korn does get locked down. Let me turns into mega. Swift is rigging havoc in this bag. He's taking down 1 inhibitor. He's moving straight for the second one.
He is just going insane. And
hello?
Here we go. Void caught out.
Taking a lot of damage.
Happy did so much damage in that. He actually was able to save that awful situation for Newbee because V was just out of position. It felt like he was looking for a team fight because he was squarely at that Baron. Meanwhile, Swift was actually going for that inhib in the bot lane. So while you're doing that, you know you don't have your jungler. You know you don't have your soul tank. You're not going to be able to stop them going for that Baron. You're not going to be able to take them on in a team fight whatsoever.
And it's not the first time we've seen Happy come out strong with this Jhin. Game 1 was a big factor as well when they were 10,000 gold behind. Opened up the curtain call, got great shots into Void, picked him off twice as well to pull the team fight back in favor of Newbee. So doing good as well once his teammates gets collapsed upon and caught out. But big thing there is they traded the 1-for-1 for an inhibitor, and it's the bottom lane inhibitor as well, which means that slowly Super Minions will push on towards the bottom side of the map, which makes Baron much easier to take coming out for Newbee. In fact, it is actually Let Me that's sent down to the bottom lane to deal with that. Just turned into Mega, which would have been a good time for Newbee to pull the trigger due to the cooldown on Na's passive.
So right now we're seeing a last whisper coming out of Jhin. The last item really he's going to be looking to go for is more armor penetration. Interesting to see that come from him because I would have liked to see a rapid fire cannon coming out of him. Added length of his auto attacks definitely would help.
It would. There's 6 items on the side of Lucian, though, and the rest of his team are ready to fight. Baron has been started by Newbee. Teleport coming in for Letme. He's almost mega, but Baron does fall, getting taken down by Vladimir. There's Letme. He's mega, nars him into the wall. V has to QSS out. Dade being a nuisance in the back lines. Void goes back in, but he's going to get taken down. Starhorn Royal Club are retreating with very low health, but Baron clinically executed by Newbee.
Yeah, and Starhorn Royal Club, they really needed Korn there if they wanted to do damage. Unable to get to the fight because Happy was just zoning him out with curtain calls.
And it's still looking to push. Everyone is at 6 items here, Raz. Except for maybe the top laners, as well as the jungler for the side of Starhorn Royal Club. But still, everyone looking like they're ready to fight. Ready to go toe-to-toe. Newbee have the Baron buff. Will have the sieging advantage for the next 3 minutes. Insecto has shown he doesn't care. He will kill you no matter what buff you have if you give him the chance to.
Yeah, we've seen this before. Whenever Newbee get to this point in the game,
Swift wants
fall out.
Swift wants to duke it out with Letme. Letme does not get tagged up as a teleport being used to the top side of the map. Coming in for Malzahar. Decides he wants to join his team nice and early for this top lane push. Inhibitor is bare. Bottom lane was just dealt with Korn. If they want to save this, they've got to go for a fight. If not, they'll be giving it up and letting Newbee take that one down. Swift taking a bit of damage coming up from Void. It's a lot of damage considering it's a tank Rek'Sai.
Able to heal back up on that. Really, they can do whatever they want because the bot lane is shoving in. They should look to wait. Either that or just use curtain calls any moment in time to just zone them out and put in as many autos as possible in that inhib.
Now waiting for now. Inhibitor taking a bit of damage. Void has to try and keep dashing away. There is that curtain call. Will miss. Will get cancelled. In fact, Korn now trying to join the fight. They pull the trigger. This is do or die for Starhorn Royal Club. Letme actually jumps out. They give up the inhibitor. Insect looked like he wanted to go back in, but they lose it. And now all that's left standing for Starhorn Royal Club's base is that middle lane inhibitor. They do have a wave that's pushed out there.
Turret's still open too.
Got to deal with these side lanes still that are pushing.
Yes, mid turret is still open, so if they do want to look to threaten that inhib, they still have to take that tower.
They've gone back to base, Raz. Newbee are going to reset and reevaluate how they're going to take these next few fights.
The more time they give Starhorn Royal Club in doing this, the more time they really do fall off because, yeah, sure, Dade, you do a lot of damage, but now you have the answer in Lucian, being able to have his Grievous Wound coming out of his last Whisper item upgrade. And so now we have a lot of answers coming out of this team. Swift, the longer he goes on in this game, he's going to be that one. He's not going to be doing as much damage. It's going to be really a tank bot coming from him. Well, and with how much AP coming through Newbee, they're going to get they're going to have a lot of problems dishing out damage.
Well, Korn has sold his QSS and picked up a Banshee's Veil for himself.
Yeah.
Starhorn Royal Club are well and truly in the late game here. Insect bops over the wall, only hits Swift. Letme is mega. That bar will slowly tick back down and super minions will slowly crash in towards the bottom side of the map. Baron buff still available for Newbee. They're trying to use it as effectively as possible. They did go back to base. This inhibitor is back up. The bear inhibitor on the top side of the map is still very far away, but Curtain Call has been popped. Void gets the heck out of its range. They're using it as a disengaged tool, and they use it to use time to take down this inhibitor. Lei incredibly low after that crit shot that came out from Happy. Has to be careful. Another one hits. Snipes him. Gets the Deathfire touch. It's now 4-on-5, and Newbee would continue to push for this mid lane.
The young sniper. That was really good. That was incredible.
He'd be pretty happy with that play, Raz, I tell you to say the least. Newbee continue to look to push through this mid lane. Bottom lane inhibitor and mid lane inhibitor down.
Ooh.
Insect's being jumped on. He's been melted. Gets taken down immediately. Letme turning mega, but's going to die while he tries. Swift is going to go into Guardian Angel. Happy moves forward. Letme revives, but Will dies. He tries to hop, skip, and jump, but it's not enough because the double kill comes out. Korn is left. Dade gets the ace. And welcome back to the LPL Newbee. You thoroughly deserved it after a 3-0 victory against Starhorn Royal Club.
These games were just really nerve-wracking. Look at the smiles there from at least more because, I don't know, there's a mix of emotions there.
And you know
Definitely
what?
a mix.
You know what, Raz? This means we're going to have Newbee and Newbee Young in the LPL next split. Doinbee's back and so is the rest of Newbee. This is going to be, next year's going to be a very interesting season, I could feel.
Yeah, already you're going to seeing the stories just write themselves, really.
On top of that, that wraps up the promotion and relegation tournament for the LPL. 3 LSPL teams went in, and 4 LPL teams went in as well. Only one LSPL team does qualify, and unfortunately for Saint, the only LPL team that leaves heading back into the LSPL.
Yeah, so as you said, we got into a situation where 4 LPL teams went in, and the sole LPL team that lost out in their seed was that Saint team. So unfortunate for them, of course, but one person had to go to really allow room for Newbee Young to come in.
Exactly that. And we have the Newbee Young from the LSPL, the first seed moving up. And we've seen what first seeds can do before, Raz. This split especially. IMA was that first seed coming into the summer split of the LPL, and now they're all the way in the semi-finals. So Newbee Young going to have a lot to live up to because a lot of LSPL teams before them have really proved themselves.
Yeah, they have, but like the biggest point is the growth that's coming from these teams, right? Because when Snake came in, they came in as a pretty poor team, a really bad team, a team that really needed to grow and make a name for themselves. They did. They grew. Their first split coming in, they went into the playoffs. They had that identity, and even from that point, they just kept going. The same goes for a lot of these teams. So I think that for Newbee Young to really kind of separate themselves from the failed LSPL teams that really went into the LPL, they have time to grow.
For now, though, we should take a look at that last game because it was Newbee taking Starhorn Royal Club down in 3 games. But it didn't feel like 3 games, Raz, because they were incredibly long matches, and we saw Starhorn Royal Club fight tooth and nail all the way to the end. It looked like they were going to try and get that comeback in Game 1. It looked like they were almost going to get the comeback in Game 3, so it was still a valiant effort from the young LSPL team.
Yeah, exactly. Whenever you see highlights for these games, you just kind of look back at the very first minute. It's like, there's subsections to these games.
We definitely did, but we check in with the results for this promotion tournament. First up, it was OMG that picked up the 3-2 victory against Young Miracle. It looked like it was going to be much quicker than that, Raz, but Young Miracle did fight back in Game 3 and 4.
They really did. This was a great run back from this team, and it didn't pay off really for them.
And it was followed by a 3-0 coming out from Newbee against Starhorn Royal Club. The prestigious, historical team of Starhorn Royal Club were not able to make it back into the LPL, and the young LSPL team of Newbee make it back into the league, so congratulations to them. And then we take a look at the standings for both the playoffs and the promotion and relegation tournament. Relegations and promotions are over. It's OMG, Newbee, as well as LGD that make it back in. The automatically promoted team of Newbee Young will be heading into the split next year. Unfortunately for Saint, they head down into the LSPL.
Yeah, it was a rough run for OMG. They finally took it out in Game 3. Or Game 5, I mean.
But we still have more LPL action to come because tomorrow it will be EDG taking on Team WE in the first semi-finals of the summer playoffs, as well as RNG taking on IMA.
Yeah, it's going to be really exciting to see what EDG and RNG have been cooking up for us, because they have just been sitting there watching all these teams play out their games and plotting.
And the winner of those 2 matches tomorrow will be heading into the grand finals of the LPL. And these are those 2 matches that come up tomorrow. EDG, first place seed from their team, still undefeated against Team WE. RNG, first place seed from their group, up against IMA, the team that fought their way out of the gauntlet and now making to try and see if they can make their dreams come true by going into the grand finals.
Yeah, exactly. IMA is a team that we keep looking towards and saying, well, maybe, yeah, as I said earlier, is that here is the finish line. You did a good job, Chump, and then guess what? I was like, oh, actually, we keep going, we're walking forward. So that really works out well for them, right? And let's see if they can actually upset the Giants in RNG.
So let's continue with that because we have locked in all our teams for the LPL next year. Only team that's going to be joining us is Newbee Young. Only team leaving will be Saint. Moving forward, we still have playoffs. Tomorrow's match is going to be huge. EDG look like they're going to have another dominant tournament here, but once again, they looked like they're going to do the exact same thing in Spring Split. It's up to RNG now to see if they can really step up. Their first task is against IMA, and Team WA are going to really look to try and challenge EDG as well.
Yeah, so both games do have their stories, right? WE up against EDG, we've seen that playoff game or that set before, and a much worse WE to add to that. So you never know what'll happen in playoffs because even though EDG, they can make their sprint all the way to the finals, they still usually in playoff situations have a very, very rough road.
Yeah, let's see what they can do. So far, they haven't had to play any games in the playoffs because they were their first C team from their group. But we can check back in with that final match, the MVP for Newbee, and it's going to go over towards Happy on his Jin performance. 11, 3, and 9, 80% of his team's kill contribution, and 32% of his team's damage share. definitely a powerhouse on this Jhin, Raz.
Yeah, definitely. Last portion of that game, at the very end, I was not surprised by. I was actually surprised that it's only 32% damage share because his damage was actually just insane.
This is where he said, you know what, you can dodge everything, but I'm going to flash on you. You can't dodge this.
Yeah, exactly. And this is when they got ganked. 4 people coming in through. Here comes Karma, Lucian,
That's where he
Gragas.
goes. All right, Mor, we fight.
Victor's coming down. It's like, well, you know what? Before Victor comes down, I'm killing you, taking you down with me.
Yep, pretty much. That was pretty much happy when he played his Jhin. It was not just that match as well. His first match on the Jhin was very crucial in their comeback of a comeback against Starhorn Royal Club.
A lot of comebacks.
Game. It was a lot of comebacks in that game, and they were able to take that one down.
Exactly. So that was a really good first that was their worst game, game 1. But the fact that they got the lead to begin with was very good for them.
It certainly was, and with that, Newbee were able to take down Starhorn Royal Club and begin to bring themselves back into the LPL. But that's not all the LPL action we have for this week, because tomorrow we have even more exciting games. But it's all the matches, Raz, that we have here for tonight. So on behalf of myself, Raz, and our entire production team and our entire casting team, thank you guys so much for watching, and be sure to tune in tomorrow because Team WE, they're definitely going to look to see if they keep their dreams. Can you?